So can you tell me about your book?
Yeah, I have a new book of 8 short stories out. It's called The Burden of Light, and it's just been just published basically this past week. The
What about
Burden of Light.
what about the title? Where did that come from?
The title is starts, I guess, with Saint Christopher, him carrying the Christ child across the river. That's the legend. I sort of was where the title gets its root, I guess. It's the idea that each of us is wonderfully unique and wonderfully mysterious. We're full of mystery, even to our own selves. And we have this calling in life, this freedom to grow and mature, to develop our creative potentials, and to develop our relationships with creation, with people, with God. And essentially, we're called to this perfect freedom in holiness. And the burden part comes with the fact that it just seems so difficult for people to sort of live out this calling or this vocation toward holiness. And I know this from my own life, and even just from seeing the lives around me. It seems like human beings struggle to be their best selves, I guess, or to really sort of allow their full creative potential and humanness to really flourish.
Are there any common themes you would say across the stories?
Well, the characters are largely broken in the short stories, and so it's not about them finding healing necessarily, but it's about all of them being irritated in their brokenness. Something is irritating them or keeping them unsettled. Living as an immoral character, or as someone who's deeply troubled by their meaninglessness that they're living with in their life, that's sort of not the end game. It's like there's something, divine presence is disturbing their life, their place where they're at, and it's divine presence is sort of making them recognize very subtly that they're not where they should be. They should be doing. They should be guided or oriented. Their lives should be oriented differently than it is. So the stories don't necessarily leave the reader satisfied, I guess, with a happy ending. It is about broken characters just sort of recognizing their brokenness, which maybe is the first wonderful step toward healing or hope.
I noticed the title Death in Schumacher sounded kind of depressing. Would you,
Yeah, like Death in Schumacher, a couple of the people who've read that story have sort of said like it's a little grim, but in some ways that story is a bit of a commentary on maybe on our culture. It the young boy who's remembering his experience of confronting death as a 13-year-old, when he does go searching for meaning, the one place he instinctively goes is the Bible, which is where in religious culture, Christian culture, the Bible, of course, would be a source of guidance and language to help us understand death. And he can't find the family Bible; it's in the linen closet. So this boy is in a family where he doesn't have the language to understand death or the possibility of eternity. He's experiencing eternity as he's going through this encounter with death, but he doesn't really understand what he's experiencing. So the hopelessness comes from the fact that this character is just not fully aware of what he's actually experiencing. So I would say that that's the challenge in that story, is to just sort of offer a bit of a critique about how people maybe struggle sometimes to understand the most serious parts of their lives.
thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for this. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Peace, everyone.